news and knowledge is power. And the idea is that, the first to bring the news. So as you get more senior on aircraft carrier, obviously your time's important and you need information to make decisions. And people love to bring you information because it's subconscious at times, right? They're aware of something that's happened on the ship or off the ship, and they want to bring it to your attention because there's loyalty there and there's trust. And you understand. I understand why it happens. I used to say all the time, and again, it's probably something I learned from somebody else, I'm sure, but the truth is always in the third report. So the idea being, in the morning, I'd sit down with my XO and my command master chief, and we'd have coffee on the ship where we were, and it was kind of our time to sync and talk about the day and talk about what's going on. And I, the master chief, who's generally up earlier, is getting more information. He'd always come in and say, "Okay, here's what's happened," or "We heard this report of a sailor doing this," or "This particular piece of engineering equipment's broken." And that's not only is it broken, but we're gonna have to pull in. It's going to take 6 weeks to fix it. And so it'd be very easy, right, to pick up the phone, call the Chang, "Hey, what's going on?" Call the admiral, but you've only gotten like a snippet of information. You have to understand. I used to remind myself, somebody is eager to get that information out because it's information, but it's not necessarily the truth. It's not backed by the facts. So I just, we'd say, "Okay, truth's in the third report. Let's see what happens." And then like an hour later, you get another report like, "No, it's not a big deal. We can fix this in the next hour. It's people are blown out of proportion." All right. So that's your counter to the first report of this piece of engineering equipment broken or the sailor getting in trouble. But by the time the third report came in, like later in the day, when people have the time to assess the information and the facts and actually look at the evidence, the truth was somewhere in the middle. So that was a saying I always had, and truth's in the third report. So never overreact. There could be times you're going to overreact. There could be times when, "Sir, we're about to run over a ship."
Yep.
Okay, well, you better turn. Or if you're flying, as you know, in aviation, you're making quick reactions all the time based on information, sometimes limited information. But when you're talking a large organization with all these processes in place and people and leadership, generally you're not, unless you're on the bridge, you're talking about aviation stuff, the things you're getting do not require instant decisions by you. Mm-hmm. It's more you understanding the impact of the schedule and the mission. So I just always try to give the time for the right people to get involved, to get their eyes on the equipment or talk to the sailor. And then, by the time it all panned out, you get to that final third report. And that was usually pretty close.